Welcome to the 2013 Amgen Tour of California. For Bicycling.com, I'm Joe Lindsay. I'm joined by Frankie Andreu at the finish of Stage 5 in Avila Beach. And Frankie, today was the second longest stage of the race. Not a day that on paper looked like it was going to produce any major changes, but actually it turned out to be one of the most exciting days of racing in the race.
Yeah, it was a fantastic day. I mean, everybody's worried about that Cat 2, and Carter Jones, made a fantastic job to get into the break, to get those KOM points, which was the first priority of the day. After that, everybody was just cruising. Nothing to worry about. It was a headwind, and all of a sudden they just a little bit angled to the right, and the group just exploded into like 10 different groups.
And you saw yesterday, Radio Shack tried the same tactic on the front. Like late in the race, they went to the front. There were some crosswinds, but then as Jens told us afterward, they shut it down because the winds weren't strong enough. Today they were strong enough, and they made a lot of damage. We had a group of 17 go up the road that included several of the race overall favorites and also then 4 or 5 really good sprinters. So there's a lot of incentive for guys to work in that group, and behind there simply just wasn't enough horsepower for guys to pull that back.
And you got to give experience. I mean, if you look at that group, the Pro Tour guys, that's all it was. It was a bunch of them. It was Alex Candelario, props for making that group. That was the only
domestic guy.
The only domestic rider, and it was just going. And when you have teams with 4 different teammates, tons of horsepower to drive it, no mountains to slow them down, and the chase from the back just wasn't enough. The horsepower wasn't there, so it stayed consistently at a minute. A lot of riders lost out, a lot of riders gained. TJ Van Garderen, of course, taking over the yellow jersey.
Yeah, and obviously TJ is now in the lead by 40 seconds over Mick Rogers, and you've got Matthew Bichet now up in 3rd place overall. Going into tomorrow's time trial, it's just short of 20 miles. It's a difficult time trial, obviously. It's kind of rolling up and down at first, and then you've got that last kicker of a climb. But I have a hard time really seeing anybody going over the top of TJ in that climb.
TJ's proven he's a good time trialist, but before that, for the win, Jens Voigt.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable attack, stayed away. I didn't think he was going to be able to hold off all those guys. He did a Jens Voigt thing, but he did stay away, and it was a big win. He's not going to be a factor tomorrow in that time trial, but TJ now in a good position, should be able to do a great time trial to be able to extend that lead, and then the chase is going to be on after that, but BMC, a nice ride by them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, looking at the finish today, Radio Shack obviously a big winner today with Jens for the stage win, Matthew Bichet moving up. I think, honestly, one of the losers of the day for me was Orca Green Edge. They moved Cam Meyer up a little bit on overall, but they had 4 guys up front, including Baden Cook and Michael Matthews, and when Jens went off the front, basically blew up their chances for any kind of sprint win.
Yep. No, I mean, you got to take advantage of the opportunity, especially when you have numbers in the front group, and that didn't quite happen for, BMC had the yellow jersey. Orca didn't really work out. And for Radio Shack, who had numbers, they took the stage win. So there is one loser there.
For tomorrow, again, 20-mile time trial should be fairly decisive in shaking out the overall as we look at that stage up to Mount Diablo. Everything that I'm hearing from people is that the Diablo climb simply isn't big enough to really make a huge difference.
Guys aren't going to Diablo's Diablo. It's named that way for a reason. We're going to see what happens.
All right. Well, that's Race Radio from the finish of Stage 5 of the Amgen Tour of California. I'm Joe Lindsay with Frankie Andreu. Thanks.